You remember the main event?
Oh, wow, yeah.
His dunks were equivalent to Mike Tyson knocking the dude out. When Mike Tyson went boom and the dude fall, that crowd, every dunk was like...
Let the world know the name, man. Street ball king, bringing pride to the game. From Linden to Elizabeth, Jersey's vein. Main event, forever etched in the main again.
Yo, what up, the certified legend Main Event, and we at Main Event and Friends. This is the Main Event Podcast. Today I'm here with my bro.
Yes, sir.
My bro.
Yes, sir.
I know him as Esther Barber.
Come on.
I know him as J. Scott the Illest.
Yes, sir.
What do y'all know him as? What's good, bro?
I'm good, man.
Happy to have you here.
Thank you, bro. Great to see you as
one legend
always.
to another.
No doubt. No doubt. Yes,
So I want to get right to this.
Let's do it.
Let's not get right to it.
First of all, wait. I want to present you with a gift, bro.
Oh, right from the rip?
Yes. This is exclusive vinyl I want to give to you, man.
Vinyl.
Yes.
Y'all hear that? Vinyl.
Exclusive.
Vinyl.
Right. This is produced by my brother Invisible Hands, distributed by Backspin Records. This is a table for two. Very exclusive joint. I want to give this to you as a gift,
Thank you,
bro.
man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
that.
No doubt.
Appreciate that. Back to the AKAs.
Come on.
Papa Smurf.
Yes, sir.
For those that don't know, where you from?
From Linden, New Jersey. Yes, sir. I represent Union County. Grew up in Elizabeth a little bit briefly, and then we moved to Linden, and got some family ties in Rahway as well. But I like to represent Union County as a whole. But I always tell everybody I'm from Linden, New Jersey. That's in my heart.
For me, I watch. I know you as a barber, right?
Yes.
You was my barber at the time.
That's right.
Never stopped, my barber. Only let a couple people come in here, you and Kwame.
No doubt, my rival.
The first time I heard your music, I think it was with Shock and them, rest in peace, Salute the Hooch. And I was like, I didn't know S is an artist. But stepping before that, I know you was an entertainer because you used to do like sketches with God rest Earl, Mr.
That's
Earl.
Right, that's right.
You was doing stuff with your kids.
That's right.
You was always into the entertainment side. Why music?
Music has always been there, man. My father, may Allah be pleased with him, he's no longer here, but my father was a DJ. So I always was around him DJing. He was also a singer. So I was always around him doing his music. My stepfather, he's a singer. My mother sings a little bit. So I was always around music. And so it's always been something that's always been in my heart, my soul, to do music, whether it was writing or, trying to sing something or trying to rap or trying to be, some type of performer when it came to music. So it's always been in me. Yeah.
The world's starting to know you as J. Scott the Illest.
Yes, sir.
Well, I want to know who's Jonathan Scott. Who's that young kid growing up in the Fourth Ward?
Yeah,
who's
man.
That kid?
Yeah.
What's the vibe like? 5 years old, 6 years old. Did you have mom and pop there? What was your upbringing?
So, man, mom and pop, and it's crazy because I talk about it in one of my songs when I talk about my sister. I have a song called "I Wish Me and My Sister Was Close," and I talk about the dynamics of how early my father left. My mother and my father, they was married very briefly. They might have been married. I don't even have any memories of it. They might have been married maybe the first year of my life, and then pops split, and then that's how that went. They married, separated. But so from that, from a baby up until probably 11, I was in Elizabeth, and then I moved to Linden. But those earlier years, I always was doing art. I went to school 21. I went to school 22 in Elizabeth. Those were the gifted and talented schools, and so I always was. I went to those schools for drawing. So I was always doing artwork and stuff like that.
Got to mention that drawing as well.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it really started with my artwork. I always thought I was going to be like an illustrator, like a cartoonist, but the music was always there too. Hip hop. We the same age as hip hop. Hip hop was born in 1973, so it's always been around us. The influence of hip hop has always been around us. So for my drawing, trying to be a cartoonist and an illustrator and getting into graffiti art and stuff like that, up until, like I said, up until probably about 12 when I moved to Linden. We didn't have any more gifted and talented programs once I got to Linden, but we did have art classes. And so I still was able to, use that art side of me, you know, as far as being able to draw on paint, stuff like that, and use those type of mediums, but still didn't have that direct access to the music like I would have liked to. Met my man Jammin' Joe Bavard. Met Ogden, Kweli, right? I met those guys when I was in 7th grade, and they was older than me, but I was doing the human beatbox. Kweli was the rapper. You know, Jammin' Joe was the DJ. So we looking at like around 13, 14, you know,
Middle school.
Yeah, mixing in with those guys.
Soul
man.
of McManus.
That's right, Soul.
You was a Soul? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
We shared similar stories because I came from Elizabeth.
Okay.
I came to Soul in 8th grade. So when you were saying, I went to school 20.
Okay.
I didn't have the privileges or the grades to go to Gifted and Talent, but I did have to go to Baton for half the school year, so I know exactly what you was talking about.
Yeah.
When you said Gifted and Talented. So now you're in middle school, you come in Linden, New Jersey, you're at Soul. You're doing the art. Was Mrs., if I'm not mistaken, Miss Smith? Was the art teacher?
That's right. That's
Shout out to
right.
Miss Smith.
That's right. Shout out to Miss Smith. That was my art teacher in Soul Middle School. That's
Any
right.
sports?
No, man. You know that wasn't never my thing, man. That was always you, man. But you know, I like to come to the sporting events. You know what I'm saying, to be supportive of my brothers and sisters that was involved. But yeah, you know, I was always the one down at the ward cracking the jokes and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
During that time, at that time, what was going on? What we talking like the 80s?
Yeah.
Mid 80s? What was your community like? What was the environment like?
As far as in Elizabeth or in Linden?
In Linden.
The community was rich, man. It was beautiful. It was a special time, man. I just remember everybody always being outside and having a good time. I remember riding my bike without having no issues. I remember you know, going to different people's houses and being able to see how they lived and compare it to how I lived, you know what I mean? And just really having a good upbringing. I don't really remember anything crazy about our upbringing growing up in Linden. You know, of course, you always have your little incidences here and there, but it always was love in Linden. You know, from our up Linden to our down Linden family
DLP.
that's right, to our, you know, across the tracks family, which, you know, our brother Shock always say, well,
Absolutely.
you know what, who makes the rule on what side of the tracks we talk about, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it was just a beautiful upbringing, man. Yeah.
Now when I mentioned upbringing in Linden, it seemed like there was a difference from Elizabeth to Linden.
Yeah.
Could you share if there was a difference?
The difference for me, so when I was in Elizabeth, I wasn't in the downtown section of Elizabeth. I was in the Elmora section of Elizabeth, right? So in the Elmora section of Elizabeth, it was multicultural, right? So we had Jewish families, we had Indian families, we had black families, we had Asian families. We had it was a melting pot of everybody in that section of Elizabeth. A lot of Jewish families that own the properties and stuff like that, but it still was a very heavily diverse neighborhood. When we moved to Linden, that was all black for me. You know, it wasn't no Indians, wasn't no Asian, wasn't no Jewish families. It wasn't none of that. You know, it was just all black for me once we moved to Linden. So there I had to make a little bit of an adjustment now, you know, because now them other, you know, white families and stuff like that wasn't there, you know, like I said, so it was all black now. So I had to make a little bit of an adjustment.
And to piggyback off what you're saying, where you said there was a lot of African American families there, I think we was, because we're around this, we're the same age around.
Yeah.
We got something that was called white flight. A lot of the Caucasian moved out because on the neck of the woods where you lived at, I was on McAllen's down the hill.
Right.
African Americans couldn't even go down that way. Right. Let alone be living down that way.
So I didn't learn about that till later, you know. That's when I learned about what Sunnyside was. You know? And so most of those families over there, I later on learned that those families that's where the white families were predominantly. And on the other side of Wood Avenue.
Well, artists, I know like before being an artist, a rapper, as far as your artwork, did you draw like images, or did you like draw images of what you saw outside? Like when the artists say, well, I'm just rapping about what I see in my environment. Where did your artistry come from, and what type of art did you draw?
So at that time, man, I was heavily influenced, and I say this in my record, What's Your Purpose? I talk about fascinated with characters from Charles M. Schultz. I was a big Peanuts, Charlie Brown, you know, kind of like, I always saw myself being the artist that would have an illustration in the newspaper. You know, because at that time, you know, we would get the newspaper. You had the comic strips.
Ledger, Daily Journal.
That's right. That's right. Star Ledger and the Daily Journal. That's right. So, you know, for me, I always saw myself doing that. So that was my thing. You know, drawing cartoon characters, whether it was Charlie Brown or the Smurfs or you know, those different types of characters. That was my influence then. And then doing graffiti art too.
One of my big brothers, Kwame. Mm-hmm. No, some know him as Illest, we know him as Kwa.
Yes, sir.
Razor Sharp.
That's right.
It seemed like artwork and barber go together.
Yeah.
How did that help you with your barber?
It helped me a lot. I looked at my clippers as another extension of, as if I had a pen or a marker or a paintbrush. I use my clippers, I use my tools the same way I use those kind of mediums. So it really helped me out as far as being able to focus and pay attention to detail. And when it came to, you know, people wanting designs and stuff like that and their haircuts, you know, I had an advantage because I was an artist. So that stuff was easier for me than it was for somebody who didn't, you know, have the artistic abilities.
Now, I know me growing up, and if I wanted to go play basketball, I might call up Tariq, God rest my bro, right?
May Allah be
They
pleased
go
with
down
him.
to the park.
Yeah.
You can't call nobody, or did you have art friends? Like, you can't really call nobody, like, I'm about to sketch something today. What you doing? You know?
Nah, you can, but I didn't. You know, that would have been dope if I would have been able to have that kind of relationship with Qua at that time, to be like, hey, bro, I'm over here working on the piece. With, you know, what you got over there? You know, you got some markers over there, you know, or you got some suggestions on some fading techniques or some blending techniques. It would have been cool to have that kind of relationship. So you can have them, but I didn't reach out to anybody like that at the time. Yeah.
I know a lot now. So now we go from the artist to now you're doing the barber. I know it was a time where you was doing like different kind of sketches, doing different funny sketches, and it seemed like you always wanted to be the entertainer. Like you wanted to be the center of the attraction. You get it demanded now.
Yeah.
At what point in your life did you want to be that person? Like I want to make people laugh. I want to be inspirational to people.
So I always had the humor side of me. You know, I always had that ability to make people laugh. I get that from my father. My father was a big time jokester, and my mother too. My mother got a crazy sense of humor too. So our family always cracked jokes, always was laughing. So I always had humor in me and the ability to make people laugh and stuff like that. But I wasn't interested in trying to do it on a higher level until we got introduced to going to the Peppermint Lounge back in the day when Bob Sumner started doing his comedy events there.
Bob.
That's right. And so, you know, me being a young man and being exposed to that and seeing how that was affecting people, you know, somebody get up on stage and crack a couple jokes and everybody erupts in laughter. I know the feeling we get from laughter. And so I wanted to have a part in that. You know, I wanted to learn how to do that too. So that was my attraction to doing stand-up comedy and trying to learn how to write sketches and stuff like that.
Now, so far, it seemed like everything's smooth sailing, no trials and tribulations, no roadblocks.
No, I mean, you know, man, we young black men, right? You know, I didn't have my father in the house with me, so naturally it's gonna be something, right? Luckily for me, it wasn't nothing crazy, but I had my bumps and scrapes in the street where, you know, I got involved with some things here or there with law enforcement. You know, I'd been locked up as a juvie, had to sit my behind down and learn my lesson, and then still had to learn again a couple more times afterwards, you know, but nothing never crazy where I had to sit down for like a long amount of time, you know. Thank the Most High, never been shot or nothing like that. So, you know, yeah, nothing never crazy like that.
Now I'm gonna step to the next phase. I remember you called me up and said, "Hey, I'm doing a podcast. Come on down."
Yes, sir.
So you dived into that as well. What was that experience like? And you was way ahead of your time,
Right.
With that,
Yeah.
it was called Groove.
Shave and Groove live mixtape.
That was super dope because nobody was incorporating the DJ, you know, with the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was real good. I had a good time on that show.
No doubt. We kicked it, man.
Then from that, once again, I saw the first episode when you was doing the rapping, right? You became an artist. I'm like, hold up, yo. What's next? What can this guy do? You know, he's doing everything right now, but it was nothing to where it hurts people. It was all about uplifting.
Yeah.
And now I'm listening to your lyrics. This latest album you have,
Yeah. Familiar Grounds.
Familiar Ground.
Executive produced by Sky Zoo.
Salute. Been
Yes,
watching
sir.
him. I've been watching your following, been watching your hard work, your dedication to what you do. And each of those things we talked about, you give your all with it.
Yeah.
I just watched you, how you took a barbershop and you took it from a shell and you created this atmosphere, the podcast, you created the atmosphere with your music. Listen to your lyrics. Your lyrics it takes me back to that boom bap era.
Absolutely.
Like that real hip hop era.
Yeah.
Why didn't you choose the disrespecting women, talking about the drugs, talking about harming your brother, talking about shooting, basically where everybody dies at the end of the song? Why didn't you choose that route?
Because
enough. That's what's popular.
Right. Well, man, we got enough of that, right? Everything has its time and space. So for me, it's like, all right, you coming out as a OG artist, right? I'm not going to get on my music and start creating stories and start lying and stuff like that, because y'all know me, you know what I mean? And so you're going to know right off the rip, that's not true. You know, he over there making up stories on, my stuff got to sound authentic. I feel like we're intelligent human beings. We're going to know right off the rip if somebody telling the truth or not, So when it comes to my music, man, I have to tell my truth. I have to leave, because I'm going to be gone one day and the music's still going to be around, and I want people to be able to listen to my music after I'm going to be like, yo, stories he's telling is crazy, man. I could tell that this guy was very authentic and just being his authentic self and telling the truth, I can't. Then I think about, too, man, right? I make a record talking crazy, talking about a bunch of guns and dope and disrespecting women and stuff like that. You can't ride with your wife and listen to that. You can't have your grandbaby in the car listening to that. You might pick up somebody else, even somebody who's our age. They might not want to hear that, but you might still want to be able to play some hip hop. And so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to. There was a moment that I was using profanity on my music, and then I got to a point I was like, we ain't even doing that no more. I don't have to do that. I'm clever enough to write and record without having to be profane, because I want everybody to hear my music.
I know with this album, for me, it's like almost like the soundtrack of home.
Yeah.
Because everyone from the neighborhood rocks with you, because you're incorporating them from the Pink House Party.
That's right.
To hanging out with my brother-in-law Smurf.
No doubt.
To Shock and Hooch, God rest him. And it's just like that. You're becoming the soundtrack. Yes, your voice, your songs becoming the soundtrack. With this new album, what was your mind frame for each of the songs? And you could go through some of them, the song titles. You go through them all if you want. But
yeah.
What state of mind was you in? And what put you into that state of mind when you start doing your titles? And how do you write that stuff? Like, I always wonder, how do you write it as well as remember it?
Yeah. So for me, the songs that you hear that are telling stories, I try to look at them like as if I was writing a script, right? And so you got a script. And this is something that I learned from doing comedy and writing sketches. Your scripts are like 3-act breakdowns. And so when you listen to Biggie stuff, I always tell people that, like, if Biggie would have still been alive, he easily would have been a screenplay writer, because when you listen to his music, his songs was 3-act breakdowns. They had a beginning, they had a middle, and they had an end. And so when I tell my stories, I try to incorporate that too with my writing. And it's just the music could tell me what to write. You know what I mean, man? Certain sounds will trigger certain memories and experiences that I've had, and then it'll tell me, okay, you write about that on this.
Did you choose the track first or the lyrics come first?
Yeah, the track. It's always the music first.
You also produce?
I do.
You was doing something with my nephew, Buddy.
That's right.
I know y'all was doing some things together.
That's right. Yeah.
How do you come up with the creation of the beat?
Just listening to sounds, man. We grew up listening to Kiss FM, right? And, WBLS, being kids, listening to those soulful radio stations, 92 KTU, when we was kids with our parents and our relatives. And,
putting the tissue behind the tape, flipping over, then you realize you recorded on the first part of the show, and then getting caught up.
Yeah, took my mother's Mighty Clouds of Joy cassette and recorded over all her gospel, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, and then my father, like I said, my father being a DJ, him playing blues and jazz, and just really having a knowledge of those type of musics and those type of sounds that make me want to dig and listen more. And then I hear something like, yo, I want to sample that right there.
Your music very inspiring. I'm gonna tell you why, because you do what a lot of artists don't do, and it's like pay homage. When I say pay homage to, when you telling your stories, like my big brother Mutai.
That's right.
New York.
What up, Mo?
You bring us back the Benz eras, right?
Yeah.
My brother Dondi, myself. It's just to hear these stories, and then like when that's truth. Like, he not lying. Like, he putting these stories, he's telling these stories. Now, with that being said, for people that's outside of home, how do those stories recollect with them, or is it that you want them to listen to the story, that you're a good storyteller?
So I look at it the same way, like, you know, man, we grow up, we listening to Nas, right? We listening to Nas tell stories about where he grew up at, and he's mentioning people that he grew up with, right? We don't necessarily know these people, these places, but the picture that he's painting is relatable to us, you know. We know the environments that he speaks of. We know people that are similar to the people that he grew up with, especially if we're all within the same age. Same thing listening to Jay, and Jay talking about Marcy Projects and talking about his cousins and his relatives and the people that he grew up with. So it's like, for me, I'm like, okay, I got to do my due diligence as far as that. I got to talk about the streets that I grew up on. I got to mention the people that I have relationships with, you know, because, yeah, they might not know us and they might not know where we're from, but they'll have a familiarity to it, and they'll have the, you know, they'll have an understanding like, yo, I can relate to that. You know, he talking about his mans, that sound like my man. You know, I know somebody like that too. He talking about the blocks where he grew up on. Yeah, we used to do some of that stuff on the streets where I grew up on too. So, you know, it has the relatability. So they don't have to know us, but they'll be able to relate to it the same way that we related to those guys.
Yes. So I always say we have similar stories but different music behind it.
That's right. I like that.
I know you don't live in New Jersey no more. It's not like my bro Cam, you know, in Miami and all that, but
yeah,
bro, you in Atlanta now, but I noticed you still have that same drive for home. You still have that same love for home. Yeah. Your merchandise. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
This
man.
right here. What does this mean?
This is the hooded tiger, man. You know, and it ain't no secret. You know, we Linden tigers all day. You know what I'm saying?
All day.
You know, so it ain't no
All
secret
day.
with that. But you know, the tiger represents power and strength for us. You know, and so why not put it at the forefront? I mean, I'm a low head. I love you know, Ralph and all that he does, and I'm very influenced by what he's done with his clothing and his designing and everything that he does. But so for me, it's like, all right, it ain't always got to be about the bear. I could put the tiger at the forefront, and we can do some different things with this tiger, and we could bring the tiger to the world and bring that pride and bring that strength and that power to the world.
Shout out to the low lives.
That's right. Shout out to Ayak too, man. Yeah.
Now I want to ask you this: how many tracks is on this album?
There are 14 songs and then the first song is the intro. Yeah, the first record we had the intro, and then it's 14 songs on the album, so it's 15 total.
What's one of your ones that you like the most? I know you like them all.
Yeah,
but which ones stand out, and what you expect people to get from it? Because they all have a message.
Yeah,
every single song.
Right from the rip, I'm gonna say I wish me and my sister was close, and I'm saying that because we don't hear music like that. You know, where people are talking about the relationship between themselves and their sister, and how they have that desire to be closer to them, whether they're here or whether they're no longer here. You know, these are things that need to be talked about and discussed, because we can all relate to it. You know, whether you have a sister or a brother, you know, it's important that we have those conversations and bring attention to stuff like that. You know,
how big are you on family?
I'm real big on family. I love my family. I love my family so much, man. You know, I wish my dad was still here.
Same here, brother.
You know, I wish my father was still here. I be thinking about this guy, man. I tell people, man, I remember my father hit me one day. He was like, he called me. He said, hey, man, what's something that you got from me? You know, give me a call back. When you think about that, give me a call back. I said, all right, cool. So I thought about it. Called him up. I said, yo, I got your message. He said, all right, what you got for me? I said, well, Pop, I said, you know, you gave me my first pair of clippers. I said, and so through that, I've been able to, you know, take care of myself and take care of my family and, you know, provide for myself and you know, and be a good man. And so I appreciate that. He says, all right, well, that ain't the answer I was looking for, but I take it. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing, man, you know, when he was dying, I was driving to the hospital to go see him, and it hit me exactly what he was asking me. And so when I got to the hospital, I said, Dad, I said, yo, you remember you asked me what I got from you? He said, yeah. I said, yo, I got everything from you. I said, I got the structure of my hands from you. You know what I'm saying? I got my The way that I talk to people, I got that from you. I have my personality from you. I have my love for music from you. The way I walk is similar to the way that you walk. You know, the way that I interact with people is what I got from you. You know, I got my sense of humor from you. You know, I said, so I got everything from you. And he said, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, family is super important, man. I got 3 sons. Love my sons. Well, actually, I have 6. I'm sorry, you know. I got my 3 sons, and then I have 3 sons by way of my wife, and
that's your son.
Yeah,
shout out to wifey, she be right. I was gonna get to that. She be right by your side to support. You have to have that support.
Yeah, yes,
you have to have that support.
Yeah.
So you got 6.
Yeah, man.
You got 6.
Yeah, six soldiers, man. You know, thank the Most High. My mother is still here. She's down in Atlanta with us now.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, my sister's down there. My niece and her family's down there. So yeah, so you know, so we're between there, and then we come back up here so we can spend time with my wife's, with my mother-in-law and my brother-in-laws and their family. So yeah, very, very important.
You just did a show in Broadway this weekend.
Yeah.
So I was just asking, there was some other artists there, and I was like, you know, why you not on the stage? He was like, oh, no, he got his people, whatever. But what I took from that was you giving others an opportunity to share their story.
Yeah.
To share their lyrics, right? Their songs.
Yeah.
That means a lot. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't look out for people unless they can benefit from it.
That's right.
So for me to hear that, that reminded me of my guy Goods.
Yeah.
You know, we did something here where it was a Talk Slick here. It's Talk Slick 6. It was a cypher, but everyone that we interviewed was saying where they was like, yo, he gave us an opportunity.
Yeah.
A lot of people in life don't get an opportunity.
That's right.
You know, so I want to commend you on giving others an opportunity. It wasn't I didn't feel no competition in there. It was more compete with me than compete with me.
Yeah.
You know, so I felt that energy. The energy in there was crazy. Everything that you do, the energy is crazy.
Yeah.
I'll be watching. You do a lot. You stay active.
That's right.
But you also stay grounded.
Yeah.
You can see you stay as that father, that husband, the giver, the provider, the caretaker. I see that. Your music. This album, how important is this album?
This album is super important, man. This is my best body of work so far. Out of all the music that I've been recording the past 5 years, this is my most important, my best work of art right now, for a number of reasons. Again, you know, the album was executive produced by my brother Sky Zoo. The way me and Sky came together is crazy. You know, I was a fan of his, and then relocated. I moved back to Atlanta, bumped into him as he's working on his father's food truck. You know, and I'm like, yo, I'm a fan. Cut hair right across the street. He like, yo, we trying to get my son's first haircut. You know, we're gonna come see you. I said, all right, cool. And he brought the little boy to me, and then from there we formed our friendship. And then it's like, yo, Sky do music too, man. You know, so I started letting him hear some stuff, and then we built that music relationship. So we was watching a interview one day with Stephen A. Smith and Snoop and Dre. And Stephen A. Smith was asking Dre, you know, about him and Snoop's relationship. And Dre like, yo, I'm always going to produce my brother. And so I said, this guy said, yo, when you going to produce your brother? And he said, well, you do beats. I said, well, so what? You can still get behind the project. He was like, you know what? I could executive produce it. I'll pick the records. I'll come up with the title of the album. I'll figure out the artwork, and then I'll stamp it. And I'm like, okay, that's all I need for you to do. And so that's what he did, man. He came by the crib. We listened to a bunch of records, man. He listened to the songs that I had been recording, and he really put them together to tell a story. You know what I'm saying, man? So this album is super important for me.
Well put together.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't well put together.
Thank you.
COVID, how did that affect you?
Yeah, man. COVID affected me. Shoot. COVID made me sick, right? You know what I mean? I think a lot of us might have had a touch of COVID before they said it was COVID, right? You know, we was
Only reason why I don't want nobody to think like, yo, Bane just went to COVID from. No, the reason why I mentioned that because even though that was a trying time for us, did that give you time to where you could like write some stuff? Did you?
Yeah.
Because this piece of work you put out, it wasn't no just let me roll over. Nah, you know.
Yeah, been working at it. Yeah, COVID allowed me to go from producer to artist. Yeah, I was just making beats during COVID, and Soul Fingers came by the house to get a haircut. Warren, Yeah.
Soul Fingers. You talking about the goats around the way?
That's right. That's right. So Soul Fingers came over to get a haircut, and I said, so I want you to hear something. So I started playing some beats for him. He like, yo, what you doing with these joints? He crazy. I said, I'm trying to send them out to some MCs. I said, but they ain't really biting. And Soul says, well, maybe they can't hear how to spit on it, but you the producer, you know how the rap's supposed to go, so you do it. And at the time I was 47, you know what I mean, man? I said, Soul, I'm 47, bro. He was like, so what? So what? He was like, yo, people like you, bro, you know, and you got the talent. He's like, bro, trust me, I know what I'm talking about. He's like, yo, you write the raps to your own music. He's like, I'm watching, see what's gonna happen. I finished cutting his hair, bro. He left out the house. I was like, all right. I just started writing, man. I started listening to my beats. I started writing and started recording. That's how I came up with the first album. Yeah. Yeah. So COVID was good for me in that way.
I'm gonna throw this name out there. You tell me what it means to you. Brian Hannibal.
Oh man, Brian Hannibal is definitely a big brother. May Allah be pleased with him. Mentor, right? Funny, loving guy. Just a real loving human being. One of our brothers from Linden, New Jersey. Yes, sir.
You mentioned Shock name a lot. For those that don't know, my bro Ricky Page.
No doubt. Yeah,
he's everywhere.
Yeah.
When you throwing these names in there, how important is your crew?
Super important, man. These guys is, you know, I have an older sister. You know what I mean, man? I don't have biological brothers. So like yourself and these guys, they my brothers. You know what I mean? So super important. Yeah, I'd do anything for these guys.
And I know it's vice versa.
Absolutely. Too. Yeah, they'll show up for me for whatever. Yeah.
Shared life.
Man, fourth ward, baby.
Bonanzas.
Man, they don't know, bruh. They don't know what we had, man. Right? That's like above the rim when he be like, Shep, they can't change what we did. You know what I'm saying?
The talent show with the stages.
Man, come on, bro. Yo, that was a beautiful time that we had, and I'm so glad that we was able to experience that, right? Because we got something from that, man. I don't know too many communities that was doing stuff like that. You know, having basketball tournaments that early. Back in the day, you know, seeing how the community really came together in Linden at that time, that was amazing to me, man. Seeing, you know, we was kids, right? So, you know, the lights was real big and high, you know, it was like a stadium almost, you know, kind of a feel, man. That was a beautiful time, man, when everybody was just being kids and being young and just, you know, soaking in hip hop and basketball culture together and, you know, just really having love and appreciation for each other until the foolishness happens, you know what I mean?
And that happens, and we was able, through the blessings, we was able to escape. But I see how the Creator is using us is that He needs us to go through certain things. We all go through different things.
That's right.
But it has some similarities because that the outcome and the reason is to help people, to be a pillar in the community.
Yeah.
That's why I be so passionate with the community, because I remember what our city was. Regardless who's at the helm, whatever, but we know what, and not only for our city, but for other communities.
Yeah.
It started in our community. It started with, you said, like your mom, your pops, you have their accolades, you have their distinguishes like them, right? The characters of them. We share similar things like that.
Yeah.
And we're able to, when someone's able to go outside of their normal to help people,
right?
Your music help people.
Yeah.
Because with your stories, your passion behind your every single lyric, you know, the songs, the music, the beats being picked.
Yeah.
What do you want people to get from this album? And I noticed you did something that's different. You came out with a vinyl.
Yeah.
I got my autographed copy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's talk about that. How did that process come about, or that idea?
So actually, man, the vinyl that you have is exclusive. That vinyl is songs that aren't on the album.
Oh.
Yeah. So people don't even, you can't even.
Let me see what's going on.
You want to hear them records? You gotta play that if you want to hear them records. Them records are not available on the streaming platforms. Not yet. And I don't know that they'll ever make it there. But
Pineapple Ginger.
Yes, sir.
Message to my son.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first one and the second one. Pineapple Ginger, what's that about?
Yeah, so Pineapple Ginger is just a bar up song. You know, shout out to our brother Malik Pendleton, right? So me and Malik were talking one day about songwriting, and you know, he was busting it down to me like, you know, it's okay to be to do drive-bys with your writing sometimes. Not so much that you're all over the place, but you know, you're not focused on one particular thing, so to speak. This is not a concept record. That's what I want to say. So Pineapple Ginger is my drive-by record. I'm just borrowing up just to be a little witty, you know, be a little whimsical, and and just trying
stir
to
the pot a little bit.
That's all. Just talk my stuff. You know what I'm saying, man? Like how,
I got it. It ain't all boom bap, but I got
It, right? No, but it is boom bap, but it's just bars basically. And it's some cleverness and some lyrics. Message to My Sons is definitely a concept record. That's a record where all fathers and mothers too. But specifically fathers who have sons, they're gonna be able to relate to that record right there.
My sons, we definitely checked it out, and we definitely relate.
Yeah, man. Message to My Sons is real, man. Mm-hmm.
Where do you see yourself being at in the future? What's your goal in the future with your music, with everything that you do with your clothing brand?
Yeah.
What's your goal? Like what's your out? Is it?
We ain't stopping, man. We not gonna stop it. We're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, man. Whatever the Most High got planned for me with this, I'm gonna do it. I got the record. What's your purpose? I always tell people, man, from my experience and what I've learned, our purpose here is about service. How can we be of service? And I've been being of service with everything that I do and everything that I try to do. So it's going to be the same thing with this music, So now I'm being of service, excuse me, with my music, performing and having that determination to continue to write and record and produce and give that to people, because, like you said, people need the music. I get messages from people about certain songs like, yo, man, this one right here, or that one right there, man. I've been listening to this song over and over again. The song really, really helps me. So if for nothing else, I've done what I was supposed to do. If I don't make a dime off of the music, I've done what I was supposed to do by being of service with my music and being able to allow somebody to hear what I have to say. And maybe it's allowing them to heal. Maybe it's something they needed to hear to get over something, or maybe they just needed to hear somebody else that's going through the same things that they're going through. And that's just let people know you're not alone, bro. We all going through a lot of the same similar things, man.
That's very important. Mm-hmm. So you look with like this era of social media, everybody doing good.
Right.
But I think having these conversations let people know that it's still like common stuff that's going on that people will share with y'all that don't make us look good,
right,
or glorify us. Everything is just glorified.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do on this couch is we like to give a piece of that journey,
yeah,
of what it took to get us here. I was a part of your journey. I'm a part of your
That's
journey.
Right.
I saw your journey.
That's right.
I saw your hard work.
That's right.
We go from the movie theater on Wood Avenue.
No doubt.
And then they put the little mini McDonald's there. I ride with in Elizabeth. So I watch your journey. Are you independent or you have a label?
I'm independent. Yep.
All right, that's good.
Yep, I'm independent.
What I don't like is with hip hop is that you notice, and do this get you upset sometimes when I'm getting ready to say, that you may hear these lyrics, right? Where it's like these big labels is putting this money behind this type music, right? Like it's called destruction. You hear it, everybody die. Who's going to be the audience, right?
You can kill everybody.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
And you have major companies.
Yeah.
Putting this music. Why didn't this money get put behind Common or Black Thought or our what they would say is conscious rappers? But when I hear lyrics like yours, it can help me more than it will hurt me.
Right.
It's about uplifting. It's about, here's my story. And my story is your story.
That's right.
Because we share similar stories.
That's right.
You just have different music behind it, right? When we was growing up, the FCC, we couldn't go to Vogel's in Elizabeth on Broad Street and go buy nothing that said parental advisory, right? Because we just couldn't get it.
That's right.
Do you get upset with that? Like, man, I like this, but it's like the craziest stuff somebody say, they're the ones that's winning. So is it really about the lyrics, or is it about how far you're willing to just cause confusion?
Yeah, I mean, those majors, man, they got the money to push that agenda, and so clearly they don't care about us, right? They look at what the youth is tapped into and how they're active and what goes on along with a lot of their current culture with the gun culture and stuff like that, and they that's what they're pushing. They won't even. It can be a younger artist that's speaking on a positive level. They won't even entertain it because it's not going along what their agenda is. You know, I really believe but man, you know, there's always been an agenda to destroy us as a people, and so it's the same thing with the music. You know, I got my youngest son, Nasir. He's getting into music and artists and stuff like that, and so he's like, Dad, I got this artist I'm getting behind. You know, I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we shot a video. He's like, you want to see it? I said, not really, because I already know what's in it, you know? And so he's like, well, I want to show it to you anyway. All right, cool. So as soon as he hit play, man, you hear the as soon as I hear the crickets ticking, I already know something getting ready to start happening, right? You know what I'm saying? I already know we get ready to see something. So as soon as the video starts, first thing you see is hammers, guns flashing, guns. So the song goes off, the video's finished. I said, yo, nobody can get into the content because there's so much focal points on the guns and the visual. But if you didn't have the visual and I'm listening to the record, all I'm hearing is guns and killing like that. Like you got to be the guy that's going to make the difference. You know, and if you're going to get behind the artist, you got to tell them like, yo, listen, man, it's enough of that, man. You know, tell your story. You know, he has a younger friend who's an artist too, man. And he plays some records for me, and it's all of that gang and gun and killing, murder and all of that stuff. And so when he finished, he said, OG, what you think? I said, I think that you're not being honest. I think you need to tell your stories, you know. I said, you have a brother that's been murdered, right? He said, yeah. I said, why don't you tell the story about that instead of making yourself sound like the shooter and the killer, you know? I said, you don't have your father in the home with you, do you? He said, nah. I said, why don't you talk about how that makes you feel? You growing up in a house with your mother and 2 other sisters. I know there's conflict right there. Talk about that stuff. I said, because you're going to find an audience of people your age is going to be able to relate to this stuff. You guys got to start changing the narrative of what's being pushed, you know? So yeah, man, it makes me upset. You kind of get numb to it after a while, which is terrible, you know? So I had to continue to do what I'm doing, but the way that I'm doing it.
Well, me and my partner, Mark, Mr. Idea, what we always talk about is that being the author of the narrators of our story. So being independent,
yeah,
we have no gatekeeper.
That's right.
And like you said, whether you make $1 or a dime, we're taking what the creator have given us. Some people don't chase their talents because you don't see it nor hear it. But you can see and hear ours. So we're going to take the full advantage of it. And it's not us. It's not us. It's like politics. Politics get messed up when the politicians think that we work for them. We working for the creator.
That's right.
So everything that we do, we're not angels.
No.
We're going to have to make mistakes because he have us working with many different people in different walks of life.
Yeah.
So our story may look a little confusing to others, but it's not confusing.
Right.
Because as we mature, we start understanding our purpose. Our purpose, like, why are we here?
Yeah.
Some never find a purpose.
Right.
He gave you so many different talents. Me and my brother Muta talk about it a lot. Like people that could draw and stuff, like everybody can't draw.
That's right.
Everybody can't cut hair.
That's right.
So we got a kind of a little bit of advantage because we have this talent that people could see, people can hear. We all have it.
Right.
Everybody has some special talent.
That's right.
Everybody.
That's right. I agree.
And one of the things I get from my bro Muta is that he say, listen, we do all have something in common, and that's 24 hours in that day.
Come on.
You know what? And it's all about what we choose to do with it. Me watching on the outside, watching what you're doing, you're taking full advantage. You're taking full advantage of opportunities.
Yeah.
And not only taking full advantage of it, you're opening doors for other this is like, we couldn't even think about this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
A year ago, let alone 5 years ago.
Right.
So the creator is running these plays, and I think sometimes we got to go back to the 3 Ps, pause, pivot, and pray, because if we don't pause, we really don't get the understanding and what you say is that purpose. Why?
Right.
And when these artists go into these booths, I don't know if they have a purpose.
Yeah, I mean, you know, man, so unfortunately, the focus is always, not always, but oftentimes it's about bread, right? Everybody, we all need money. Everybody would like to be compensated for what it is that they do. But we don't have enough mentors when it comes to certain things. And, I met a brother some years ago, and he taught me that whatever you do, you need a mentor. We all need a mentor. We all need somebody who's been there, you know, who's seen the dark sides of it, who's seen the positive sides of it, somebody who can help us and get some guidance through what it is that we're trying to do. Because if you just focus on getting some bread, you ain't gonna be able to see any of the other sides of any of it. You understand what I'm saying? So
if there's any artists here on this soil or not on this soil here, who would you want to work with? You could do a collab with.
Man,
You could do a couple. You could say it don't have to be.
I got a list, man. I got a list, man. Of course, I would love to have been able to record something with Big, you know, because I think we would have been able to tell some kind of crazy story on some back and forth. I got the record 98 Pun, which is my wife's favorite record. I would have loved to do a record with Big Pun, you know, just to have that competitiveness to go back and forth with somebody who was as elite as he is. You know what I mean? Black Thought, no doubt. I would love to do a record with Tariq, man. He's amazing. He's definitely in my top 5. I would love to do a record with Ghost, Ray. You know, any of them guys, any of the guys
Shout
that we
out
was,
to Ghost.
yeah, any
Shout
of them,
out to all of those. Everybody.
yeah. Any of the guys that we saw as heroes, because I feel like I have something that can compete or be placed with what it is that they've given us, you know, and especially with us being older gentlemen now, the content is gonna be different, you know, and we could really bar up and really make some amazing music, you know. I would love to do some stuff like that.
Before we tie this up, who are some of the MCs from Linden, Roselle, Rawway, Elizabeth that inspires you?
Listen, I was just telling my wife about may Allah be pleased with him. Just telling her about Black Star. You know, we can talk about Amid, right? We can talk about Raggedy Man. Okay, from home. Pont, what's her name? She gonna kill me. Female that we grew up with. She rapped too.
You talking about? She used to play ball.
Yes.
Her brother rap.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Takesha.
Yes. Shout out. That's right. Shout out to Takesha. That's right. So it was plenty of influences that we had from home that I always, you know, admired, and I always thought what they did was really, really dope. Yeah.
We going to we had a big venue.
Hold
You gotta
Shout
get
out
on
to
the
Crash
stage.
too. MC Crash. Wait a minute.
Ooh, that's Cuzzo.
Come on, man. That's
Life on the streets,
Life
do
on the street.
booty.
That's right. That's the first home rap influencer for me.
MC Crash.
That's right. Shout out to Crash. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
We're at a big venue. Stage is crazy. Crowd is crazy.
Right.
Energy is crazy.
Yes.
You on the stage. What song you playing first? You got to shut it down.
Out of my catalog?
Out of your catalog. Off this album.
Oh man. True Jersey Drive.
Why that song?
It's got that vibe, man. I'm talking because it's gonna put, first of all, it got a bop to it. It's bouncing. This, that, J. Scott funk, make your head bop. Alpine speakers in the trunk, make the bass knot. Gooseneck EQ, tinted can't see you. Steering wheel cover with the JVC pull out. I'm talking that talk, man. We come from that, man. You know, it's stadium ready. It's ready to be performed in the stadium. I'm telling a story. This is my influence from my brother Muta. You know how Mo in New York used to come around with their Benzes, and the seating was piped out with the leather interior, and it had the different colors, and they had the crazy radio systems that influenced us. You know, we wanted to be them guys, right? You know, they had the hammer rims on their cars and everything. And when they came to the park, it was an event. It was a movie, right? And shout out to Kareem, Richie Moore, and Dion used to pull up with the black Suzuki Jeep with the crazy noise, right? And so it's one of them knockers, man. That would be probably my favorite song to start. If I had to start with a record, it would be that one.
What's next from J. Scott to Illest?
Oh man, we just shot a video for Yup, the first record off the album. It's called Yup. Just shot a video for that. I give you a little spoiler. Our sister Kim Lockwood, you know, she down in the A with me.
The dancer.
That's right.
So we going there Fridays. Thank you, Kim.
No doubt. Thank you, sis. We appreciate you. So yeah, that's right. So I reached out to her. I said, yo, Kim, I said, I got one for you. I said, I got one for you. So we linked up. We shot a video for Yup. I let her do her thing. I said, yo, just dance. She like, the hook is kind of throwing me off. I said, yo, don't worry about the hook. Just do your thing. My videographer, he gonna chop it up, edit it. So we got the video for Yup coming soon. Hopefully that's gonna drop maybe another week, 2 weeks at the latest, but that's coming, man. We got Crates ATL. That's a record store down in Atlanta. This brother named Daryl, he has a record store called Moods Music. He's actually from Jersey, but he's been in Atlanta since 95 or something like that. But this is his newest record store that he has called Crates ATL. So we're doing an in-store there this Sunday coming right after the holiday. And just continuation of promoting the music, promoting the vinyl, trying to attract, some other opportunities to perform, and that's it. Keep it going, man. Shout out to
fresh gear.
Absolutely. Yeah, we coming with
fresh gear. Buy what, not what?
Yeah, buy sneakers, not drugs. Yeah. We keeping up with that.
Not drugs.
Yeah. We keeping our foot on the pedal with the merch.
You going to say something about Welcome Home to Wave?
What's that?
Next beat. We was going to say something.
No. I was about to say shout out to Mass Appeal Records.
Mass Appeal.
Yeah, I'm putting that out there now. I'm going to get signed to Mass Appeal.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I'm speaking that into existence. Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah. Shout out to Nas. Yeah.
Nas, what we doing?
Yeah. We getting signed to Mass Appeal Records. I believe I have something very unique that will fit right into a perfect space of what they're doing. He just released, what is it, the Magnificent Seven. They just did the De La Soul. They just did Ghostface. They did Ray. They did the Mobb Deep album. They did the Big L album. I'm missing somebody, but him and Preem about to drop. And I'm Slick Rick, the Almighty. So I'm saying to myself, yo, what I have and what I'm doing, it fits right into what's going on over there at Mass Appeal. So yeah.
Man,
yes,
I'm gonna say congratulations now.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Make it happen, man.
Word.
Queensbridge.
Yeah.
Anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out to Linden, New Jersey, 07036. Up Linden, down Linden, across the tracks. Whatever side of the tracks it is shot, you know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to Cuzzo Corey in the building. Beautiful wife, always supportive of me. And yeah, man, shout out to the fam. Everybody who's been supporting the music, everybody who's been pressing play on it. Love and appreciation, man. Let's keep it going.
I like to use the all know, ALNO, all love number opposite. And I want to say this, for you to have my brother out here on a weekday.
Yes.
After 5 or 6 o'clock is a blessing.
Yeah, I know it is.
You should call him Moet. He don't come out.
You sure you want to ask your brother that, bro? You put me on the spot. Whatever you want to ask me, bro. I got an answer for you, man.
You got an answer, you sure?
Yes. whatever you want to ask, I got an answer for you, man.
I just want to get the pleasure of taking a picture with you.
Come on, man. That's nothing, bro.
You gonna give out your before we close up, your social media handles. This is a new thing for us. I come from that real likes, real followers.
Right, not purchased, not purchased likes, but yeah, everybody, y'all can follow me. I'm mostly active on IG. J Scott the Illest. I got my website too, officialjscott.com. You can go there and cop the merch. We got everything there. We got beard products there. We got the hoodies. We got the shirts. We got the Scullies we just dropped. Those is exclusive. The vinyl gonna be on there in a minute. But yeah, that's about it though, man.
Well, you have a home here at Main Event and Friends for your exclusivity content, your music.
Appreciate you, bro.
Your gear. There's all love over here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Being on the show, man. God bless you.
Listen, I'll be back
Safe
soon.
Travels.
No doubt.
Come back and do whatever.
Oh yeah.
Let's flip this whole.
No doubt. Main gave me the green light, so we'll do some live performances here. I bring some of the artists that I'm affiliated with. Let them come through and have some stage time, and we'll put together a beautiful event, man.
That's what it's about. Somebody gave me an opportunity, but the person who gave me the biggest opportunity is the man above.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna keep doing what I can do.
Yeah.
My good gonna overweigh my bad. And thank you for being a part of.
You're welcome, bro.
Podcast.
Anytime.
My brother.
Yes, sir.
Let the world know the name. Street ball king, bringing pride to the game. From Linden to Elizabeth, Jersey's vein. Main event, forever etched in domain.